Okay, so in this session, we will continue with the cryptography. So we have discussed about these topics, which is historical cryptography, modern cryptography. What are the historical methods of encrypting and decrypting the data, and what are the modern methods of encryption and decryption that are using the symmetric key and asymmetric key, or using the symmetric and asymmetric algorithms, or we can say using the like AES and DES in multiple algorithms for converting your text. We have also discussed about cryptographic keys, key spaces, which is length of your keys, which contains in each and every character or in each and every position. It contains the like combination of or the probability of two values. So that is why the length is equal to 2 key power 128 binary digits. And longer the length, stronger your key will be. Then the protection of keys and key length and security, which is like longer keys generally make cryptographic system more secure. So if your keys are longer, then it will take more time for any attacker to brute force your key. Then we have security through keys. Okay. Then we have Kirchhoff principle. In the Kirchhoff principle, we have discussed about that the algorithm and the key. We have algorithm for encrypting, like how we are encrypting, which contains the method. Second, we have key, which we are using for encryption, right? So, or and decryption. So, in the Kirchhoff principle or in the modern cryptography, we say that algorithm might be we can display or the working of algorithm. Okay, we cannot hide the working of the algorithm, but we need to hide the key only. So, in the historical cryptography, we only we have to hide both the key and the algorithm or the technique we are using for encryption and decryption. But in the modern cryptography and Kirchhoff principle says that we just don't need to hide the algorithm or the working of any algorithm. We just need to hide the key itself. Then we have ciphers, which is block ciphers. Block ciphers are like we are converting or encrypting the data using blocks. And stream is like we are encrypting character by character. Okay. Then we have modern cryptographic key secrecy. So in this session, we have discussed about the like what is modern cryptography, how it is different from the historical cryptography, what is the benefit of the algorithm transparency. If your algorithm is known to everyone, even the attacker or even the professional hackers or the crypt analyst, so they can find the vulnerabilities inside your algorithm. And if your algorithm is vulnerable, so we can fix the issue or we can update the issue in the algorithm so that we can have a new version and a new stronger version than before. Then we have secret keys. Okay, so instead of hiding the method, we are hiding the keys only. Key length matters. So this we have already discussed. Then we have symmetric key algorithms. So in the symmetric key, we use only one key. So these are the benefits and pros and cons of using the symmetric. In the asymmetric, we use two keys, which is like private and public key. For like each of the user use two keys, private and public key, for the encryption and decryption. Okay, and these are the pros and cons that we have already discussed. And these are the difference. Then we have hashing algorithm. So these are the concept, like what is digest creation, what is one-way street, what is fixed length, what is collision, etc. Then hash functions. Okay, so hash are also known as digest or hash values or fingerprint, etc. Then we have discussed about SHA, MD5, and DES, triple DES, the working of these algorithm. Okay, and some formulas and AES. Okay, now we have to start with the symmetric key management. Key management is a crucial aspect of a cryptographic system to ensure the security and confidentiality of encryption keys. So now let's say in the symmetric, as we know in the symmetric, we use the same shared key for the encryption also and for the decryption also. So managing these keys are very important. Managing, okay, we can say managing, which means which includes storing the key, okay, and transmitting the key, which is transmission, and like deleting the key, okay, and recovering the key. So these are the factors which we have to discuss in the manage. So managing is all about like how we can store the key securely, how we can transmit the key securely, how we can delete the keys, and how we can recover the keys. Okay, if if we like if in case of any key loss. So key management is a crucial aspect of cryptographic systems to ensure the security and confidentiality of encryption keys. Proper key management practice involves safeguarding keys during the entire life cycle, okay, which is from creation to destruction. Here are some key points which we have to discuss. So first we have creation and distribution of symmetric keys. So distribution is also very important because we use the same shared key for the encryption and for the decryption. So let's say there's a user A and there's a user B. Now user A and user B both are using the same key for the encryption and for the decryption. So for that, if user A wants to send any data, so at the receiver side, the receiver has to use the same shared key for the decryption also. So for that, A before the even before encryption, A has to transfer the key securely. So that is like the main concern, like how we can securely transfer the key from one place to another. Especially in case of shared key, which is same shared key. In case of symmetric keys, okay. So there's a chance of modification of the key, stealing the key by any attacker. Okay. So first we have offline distribution. So this method involves This method involves physically exchanging keys material, such as providing a key on paper or storage media, which is like you are physically transferring the key. So let's say there's a user A in one city and there's a user B in different city. So the user A will travel all over to the user B for just transferring the key using any pen drive, using any USB, using any medium. That is only physically. Okay, that is offline distribution, and it is a very straightforward method. So this can be also vulnerable of interception or loss of any pen drive or theft or anything. Then we have public key encryption. Public key encryption can be used to securely exchange symmetric keys. So this is public key encryption is also known as asymmetric encryption, which we have already discussed. So we can combine the symmetric and asymmetric together for having a secure foundation. For example, let's say there's a user A and there's a user B. Now user A, before the encryption, user A have to transfer the key, okay, to user B. So for transmitting, so for transmitting, the user A uses asymmetric algorithm, which is also known as public key like encryption or algorithm. Okay, so in the asymmetric, we use two keys, first public key and private key. So A will, for transmitting, let's say first we will discuss asymmetric. In the asymmetric, A also have the public key and then private key. Same as B, public key and private key. So this is the shared key. Now A wants to send or transmit the shared key for the symmetric algorithm. Okay, so A will encrypt the shared key with the help of B's public key, and at receiver side, B will decrypt the shared key with the help of private key. Okay, that is asymmetric. Okay, so this is a secure channel. So this is asymmetric. Now the key has been transferred. Now the A uses the symmetric algorithm or symmetric encryption for encrypting the data. Okay, for encrypting the real data, which is, let's say the A wants to send anything like any file or any message. So now the A uses the shared key for the encryption for any data, let's say hi. So A converted this hi in any form, okay, using the shared key, and then A will simply transmit the data, and B at the receiver side decrypt this message, because B also have the same shared key which we have transmit using the asymmetric encryption. So here we are ensuring the speed as well, and here we are ensuring the security as well. So we are ensuring the security like foolproof security with the help of asymmetric algorithm or encryption, and we are ensuring the speed with the help of symmetric algorithm or encryption that we have discussed. Okay, so this is known as public key encryption. Public key encryption can be used to securely exchange symmetric keys. This is what we are doing. Initially, public key encryption is used to establish a secure channel, and then the parties exchange the symmetric key over the secure channel. Okay, this method combines the benefit of both public and symmetric key cryptography, which is we are combining the power of the symmetric encryption and asymmetric encryption together. Okay, this approach we can follow for transferring the keys. Then we have Diffie-Hellman key exchange. So Diffie-Hellman key exchange means here we are not transferring the keys. Here we are agree upon a secret shared message or a secret shared key, which we don't need to transfer at all. Okay, for example, the Diffie-Hellman algorithm is used to establish a shared secret key between two parties over an insecure communication channel. Means we can apply this Diffie-Hellman where there's an insecure communication channel. So it enables parties to agree on a common secret value without actually transmitting the key itself. Okay, so the method is useful when direct key exchange is not feasible. Okay, that is, they are both parties, the sender and receiver, they are agree upon a common secret value without actually transmitting the keys. Okay, that is definitely. Then we have key storage. So this is about key transferring. Then we have key storage, like how we can secure the keys, like store the keys securely. So key secure storage. Encryption keys should be stored in a secure environment such as hardware security modules, secure servers, encrypted databases, physical security. Access control encryptions are essential to prevent unauthorized access to keys. So this is obvious if we have a storage and there all the keys are stored, and if this location or this server or anything if is not secure, then anyone can fetch the secret keys. Okay, so there's no use of even applying the encryption. So that is why first we need to like store the key securely. So for that we will use hardware secret modules. This is very important for the examination, and that we will discuss in the physical security. Okay, this is a part of physical security that we will discuss in detail how this basically works. Then we can secure the servers or encrypted databases. Okay. And then physical security and access control, security, like we can implement CCTV cameras, guards. We can implement the dogs, which is like guard dogs, fences on the premises, and also the fingerprint sensors and eye scan, face scan, like card access log. So we can put these in the location where your server are located. Okay, where your all the keys are stored. So we can apply the physical security. We can apply the access control, which is like authorization. Authorization is like who have the access to access these keys. For example, we have user A and we have user B. Now, user A is the normal user, means user A has the least privileges. Same as user B, which is the normal user, which is let's say root user or admin user. So user B has the higher privileges. So now user B can access the keys and user A cannot access. So authorization is about who are have the privileges to access the keys. Okay, so that you have to give carefully. Okay, like whom you are giving that you have to give carefully. So you have to provide the high privilege access to only those users. Those are important for the operations. And then encryptions are essential to prevent unauthorized access to the keys. Okay. Then we have key escrow. So in some cases, organization may implement key escrow, where a trusted third party holds a copy of the encryption key, which is, let's say you have your company number, let's say one, a company A, and there's a company, let's say this is your friend's company, let's say. Now you have the key, let's say this one is a best friend company or any company of your known or you want. that you have ensured that this company can store my key securely. Okay, so key escrow is like where you are putting the backup of your key in other place. Okay, in company B. So in company A, you have the keys with yourself in case of any key loss, in case of any disaster. So you can take the backup from the company B. That is key escrow. This is done to ensure key recovery in case of a key loss or unexpected events. Then we have uh, key rotation and destruction. Key rotation encryption keys should be regularly rotated to mitigate the impact of potential key compromise. So let's say key rotation is also important. For example, this one is our group. Okay. You have the group of 5 people. One, two, three, four, and this five. Now these five are the part of the group. And they are using the symmetric key algorithm or symmetric key encryption. So they all have the same key. Yeah, yes, like key number one, and one. They all have the same key. Now let's say this user left the group. Now we have 4 users. So now in this case, this user also, if he or she is left leave the group, so now the key should be changed because the key is now with the member which is not in the group, right? So in that case, we can change the keys. That is known as key rotation. We can recover, like we can replace the keys, or we can rotate the keys, or we can change the keys. So that if let's say if this user left the group, and if you will not change the key, then this user which is not the part of the group now, he or she can easily access to your data with the help of that key. So that is why we need to rotate or replace the key when any user left, or in a particular period of time. Okay, like when new user added, or when new user leave, etc. In these scenarios. So encryption keys should be regularly rotated to mitigate, which is reduce the impact of potential key compromise. This involves generating new keys and replacing the old ones without disrupting communication. Then we have key destruction. So when keys are no longer needed, you can just destroy the keys. That is important to prevent the unauthorized access. Okay, so this can involve securely erasing data or physically destroying the storage media, that is SSDs or HDD, your hard disk. Now, how you can destroy? Just burn those devices. Okay, simply. Then we have auditing and monitoring. So key uses tracking. So auditing and monitoring is also important. That auditing and monitoring is all about who has access to these keys. Like who are the members of the group who have access to the shared key, and what are they doing with the keys, and who is leaving the group, who is new adding the group, etc. So we are keep on monitoring and keeping the record of the keys. So first key uses tracking. Okay, when a particular user is accessing the keys or using the keys. Okay, so organization should keep records of key uses, including who access keys, when or for what purpose. This helps in detecting any suspicious activity. Let's take an example. Let's say you have 5 employees. Okay, and those 5 employees are working in the day shift. Okay, now these 5 employees are the part of one group, means they have the same shared key. Okay, same shared key, because they are using symmetric encryption. So now we have the 5 employees in the one group, and they all have the same shared key. Now, and they are all working in a day shift. Let's say one of this employee like access the key or access the data using the key at night. So what is the means of accessing the keys, like data with the key at night? Okay, when there's no one around in the office. So in that case, this is a suspicious activity that you have to identify. So you have to ask, you have to investigate, like why he's doing that, what purpose, when, and what at what time, etc. So you should investigate it. Okay, to avoid the suspicious activities. Now, regular audits of key management practice and security measures should be conducted to identify vulnerabilities and ensure compliance with security policies. That is regular audits, which is like we have to keep on checking the key, we have to keep on checking the key management practice and policies we are following, like if everything is going under control or not, that we have to uh, focus on. Then where proper key management is essential to ensure the confidentiality, integrity, encrypted data. Organizations should adhere to industry best practice and standards to establish a robust and secure key management process. Okay, so that is the summary. Okay, then we have storage and destruction of symmetric keys. So you are absolutely right. That's to secure what? Let me remove this. No need of this line. Okay. Um, Actually, these are my notes. That is fine. So the secure storage and eventual destruction of symmetric keys are critical aspect of maintaining the security of a cryptographic system. So you have further breakdowns of these practice. So what kind of practice we can take so that we can perform these storage and destruction options. So isolation from data. So encryption key should be stored separately from the encrypted data they protect. That is obvious. Okay, like let's say you can put the keys in some other location and the encrypted data in some other location. Storing keys on the same system as the data increases the risk of unauthorized access in the case of security breach. Like there are many users who just store the password of their account in the same, like let's say there's a password of their phone. So they are putting the system passwords or the uh, device's password in the same system they are protecting. So that is not the best practice. Okay, so we have to keep the encrypted data and the password and the keys separately to avoid the data breaches. Then we have hardware security modules. HSMs are specialized hardware devices designed to securely store and manage encryption keys. They offer physical logical protection to prevent unauthorized access to the keys. So hardware security operations are like just think about our architecture. Okay, a physical architecture and see, it is a physical architecture where we are implementing the logical program and we are protecting the entire system with the help of the physical device. There's a you can say HSMs are the um, physical devices which we can use for storing the data. Okay, and they are very powerful. HSMs are very powerful, and what are their architecture, how they basically work, that we will discuss everything in detail. Because that is important for the examination. Okay, the examination they can ask like what is the architecture of the HSMs and how they actually work, how they actually protect the keys, that we will discuss in detail. Okay, this is the part of physical security. Then encrypted storage. If storing keys electronically, they should be encrypted themselves using strong encryption algorithms. So this provides an additional layer of security even if the storage is compromised. 1 second. So we have access controls. So encrypted storage means whenever we're encrypting, whenever we like protecting the data using encryption, then we are protecting the keys. So if you are storing the keys using a server or anything, any cloud services, then you can also encrypt your keys also. That approach we can also follow. So we can encrypt using various algorithms like the strongest algorithm is AES or SHA-500. Okay. Then we have access control. Access to keys should be restricted to authorized personnel only. Role-based access control and strong authentication mechanism should be in place. Okay, that is access control that we already discussed. That is like who can access this resource and who cannot access this resource. Then we have key vault services. So cloud providers and security vendors offer offer the key vault services. Now you have heard of that app lock in the Android phone or in the iOS. App lock is similar like the key vault where you can like protect or store your devices. Let's say sorry, store your applications. Let's say you have WhatsApp, you have gallery. So you can put that gallery or WhatsApp in the key vault in the app lock in the Android or in the iOS, so that if anyone wants to access the gallery or WhatsApp, then he or she has to like know the password or just bypass or just of course know the password, or he or she would be like authorized to access the source. So same as we in the that key. Okay. So similarly, we have keyword services where we are protecting the keys. Okay, we are putting all the keys in the keyword. Okay, that is like a locker. Okay, where you can protect your money, same as we have the keyword for the keys. Then we have destruction of symmetric keys. So destruction, like it is like how we can destroy the keys. So key rotation, so it is like regularly rotating keys is a security best practice. When old keys are rotated out, they should be securely destroyed or to prevent their unauthorized access. Rotating is same like replacing. Means you have the one shared key. Okay, now you want to change the key. Then you put another key in this place in this shared key, and you destroy this key. Now, in the first shared key, we have the second shared key, which is like we have the second shared key, which we have replaced or rotate. So now the first shared key needs to be destroyed so that we can you can destroy. And it depends on the storage, like where your keys are stored or what kind of platform you are using for storing the keys. For that, you have to follow the particular technique for destroying the that keys. If you are using any physical medium for storing the keys, then you have to destroy physical medium, or you want to delete the data multiple times. Okay, you have to replace the binaries, because as you know that if we delete anything from the phone, from the Android, from the iOS, from the laptops, it can be recoverable. We can easily recover everything, whatever you deleted from, even from the recycle bin, from the bin, they are all easily recoverable. So that is why it is always the good practice to keep on deleting multiple times. Okay. So in that case, you will like replace the binaries or overlap, or we can say just replace the binaries with the old binaries. If your binaries are replaced, then you cannot recover the data. Okay. So now we have secure eraser. So for electronic keys, secure eraser techniques should be used to override the key data, making it recoverable. Okay, so this prevents the possibility of residual data being used to reconstruct the key. That is secure eraser, where we are using the multiple techniques to override the key data. Okay, so that is what I'm talking about. Okay, secure eraser is the thing that I'm like talking about, which is like you are deleting the data again and again, which where you are using secure eraser techniques to delete or overwriting the binaries or the key data. Key data is what? Binaries only. At the base level, we have binaries only. That is binaries, and which is we are making it unrecoverable. Okay. Then we have physical destruction. So for keys stored in on physical medium like USB drives or hard disk or anything, so that is important to like burn your drives or just completely destroy your physical device. Because let's say you have your hard disk and you just throw that hard disk, or you just broke the hard disk and throw it. So in and that time your hard disk can also be recoverable. Like we can recover the data from the hard disk, from the ssds, if the device is broken. Okay, so that is why for the proper destruction you have to completely destroy the physical device. Then we have key revocation, which is like when a user's who access to a key leave an organization or loses authorization, their keys, their access to key should be immediately revoked. That is obvious. Like if any member of your group or of your company left the organization, then you should close the access. Okay, and new keys maybe will need to be generated, and the old keys should be securely destroyed. That is like you have to completely destroy the old keys and generate a new keys. Okay, because that user can access the data even from outside the organization. Okay, so that is why we have to destroy the replace the old keys with the new keys and destroy the old keys, because we are using the symmetric encryption, which is shared key, same key for everyone. Okay. Then we have key escrow consideration. In some cases, especially in regulated industries, a copy of the encryption key may need to be escrowed with a trusted third party. This is done to ensure key recovery in case of loss or unforeseen events. Okay, that is where we have a regulated industry where they keep the copy of our key, so that in case of any natural disaster, in case of any loss, in case of any data loss, we have the backup of those keys with third party. And also you have to provide the backup, or you have to give the backup of your keys to only the trusted third party. Okay, so effective storage and destruction of symmetric keys are integral to the overall security posture of a cryptographic system. Organizations should adopt robust practice and adhere to industry, etc. So that is like we can maintain the confidentiality integrity with the help of these mechanisms. So we have key escrow and recovery. Okay, so that is here key escrow. So what is this key escrow? Key escrow, which is involving the storage of the encryption key to the third party app. Okay, third party organization, often a trusted entity or a government agency. You can also put your keys in a government agency also. So this is done with the intention of enabling lawful access to encrypted communication under certain circumstances, such as criminal investigations or national security concerns. So that is if you're choosing the government agency, then you can lawfully put your keys in a encrypted or communication channel or an encrypted place under a certain circumstances, such as criminal investigations or national security concerns. So approaches to key escrow. So fair crypto systems. So this approach splits the encryption keys into multiple parts and distributes them to independent third parties. Okay. So, we have the key. Let's say you have the key. Uh, let's say we have one shared key. So we have this one shared key. Now we are dividing the shared key into three parts. One part, second part, and third part. And we are giving each and every part to different organization. Let's say company A, company B, and company C. And so that any company cannot able to use the key individually. For using the key, if company A wants to access, so he or she, this company has to contact with the user B or the company B or company C. Then only that company can access, like by the combination of the part of the second key and the third key, like by merging the one, two, and three part of the key, we can access, we can like make up the one key and one shared key, and then the A company A can access. So that is fair crypto systems. We are dividing the keys, splitting the encryption keys into multiple parts, and we are giving or distributing the keys into different third parties. So individually, these key parts are useless. Okay. So, but when combined, they can reconstitute the original encryption key. The intention is to ensure that no single party has complete access to the keys. Then we have escrowed encryption standard. So in this approach, a specific encryption algorithm is used that allows the government to have the capability to decrypt ciphertext. This standard usually involves a backdoor or a special mechanism built into the algorithm to provide access to authorized entities. Okay, so it is same like let's say so these are like a backup or a backdoor for accessing the authorized keys. Okay, without like without having the keys, right? Okay, let's say you have put your keys. Let's say you have give your keys to the government agencies. Okay, and you just have you just face the key loss or just data loss. So in that case, you can also ask government like agencies to decrypt your data or to decrypt your ciphertext with a particular technique, and that techniques can be involved in only these algorithms, which is encryption algorithms, escrowed encryption algorithms. Okay, so this standards usually involves a backdoor, okay, which the anyone can enter and like exit, or a special mechanism built into the algorithm to provide access to authorized data without having the all parts of the keys. Now we have challenges and concerns. Security and trust. The primary concern with key screw is the potential compromise of security. Centralized storage of keys introduce a single point of failure that hackers or malicious insider could exploit. So that is obvious. Like if you are storing your keys at one place only, like all the keys of your entire company at one place, then they might be the main place of interest for the hackers. Right. So the attacker can easily hack into your systems. Okay. And like the attacker only focus on that server where all your keys are stored. Okay. So that is why you always follow the decentralized method where you are distributing your data into multiple locations. Okay. So you are storing your data into multiple locations. It is same like blockchain. Okay. Like kind of blockchain where you are having no, not blockchain. There's one more concept. Yeah, blockchain is also the decentralized where we are having the data is spread all over the like systems. Okay, so privacy. So key scroll raises significant privacy concerns. Basically, if you are putting your key backup to any third party, now you have one more concern like if there's a threat to third party or not. First, you cannot fully trust anyone, right? So there's one challenge is that any third party can access to your data because they have the keys. Second concern is that third parties also have the access. That third party also have the access, or the attacker can also target those third parties to steal your company's keys. So that is also the concern here. Okay. So that is okay. Then we misuse and abuse. Any systems that grants government access to encryption data, like encrypted data, could be subject to misuse or abuse. So potentially leading to unwanted surveillance or suppression of dissent. So if in any case of like misuse or abuse, you should like file a case against, or the government should take actions upon that against that party. Okay, who are like misusing or abusing a case. Then we have vendors and vulnerabilities. So if you are building anything, if you have a server, so you have the vulnerabilities in that server. So you have to keep on checking the for the vulnerabilities. You have to keep on testing your security so that you can protect your entire server. And if you can protect your server, then only you can protect your keys. If your servers are not protected, so how you can protect your keys, right? So make sure you don't have any backdoors, any unused port. Okay, so close all the unused ports and to keep on updating the services which are running on a particular port number, and also keep on checking for the vulnerabilities. So international implications. So the adoption of key escrow systems can have international implications as different countries may have varying laws and requirements for accessing encrypted data. So also you can face this challenge. Let's say if you are encrypting, if let's say you are using, you have your company in Dubai. So let's say you are protecting your, or you are giving the protection of a key or the backup of your key in different country, let's say USA. So now in the USA, we have the different laws and different regulations and standards as compared to your country. So in that case, while accessing the keys or while storing the keys or while, like signing on the policies, you have the conflicts. You can face the conflicts because you both countries have different laws and requirements. Then we have public opinion and acceptance. So, as you mentioned, public opinion is a significant factor in the implementation of key escrow systems. Many individuals, privacy advocates, and technology experts are wary of such systems due to the potential for abuse, erosion of trust, and the belief that strong encryption is vital for the protecting the sensitive information. So basically, you can also like for the key escrow, you can also put the concept of balancing the security and the government access. Like you can basically the best approach is like putting your keys in the government agencies so that you can lawfully take any actions. Okay, let's say if you are putting your keys in your friend's company, so now there's no law at all because now you cannot file a case against your company B, your friend's company. Okay, because you don't have any evidence, etc. You don't sign any contract. Okay, so that is why we always follow this approach. If you want that key screw, then you can also prefer the government agencies first. Okay, government agencies are slow. Like it is slow in India, of course, but I don't know in your country. So it depends on country also. So so it is met with numerous challenges and concerns related to security, privacy, public trust. So that is why we can key score is all about various challenges you will face. So that is why always like think about before giving your key backup to any other user, other company. Then we have asymmetric cryptography. So asymmetric cryptography is like we are using a public key cryptography, which is same. Asymmetric key stands for public key cryptography, which employs pairs of keys for each user. Like we have a public key and a private key. Okay, so let's say if the sender wants to send messages. Okay, so the sender will like encrypt the message with the receiver public key, and the receiver when receives the message, so the receiver decrypt the message with its own private key that we have already discussed. Okay. So public key is openly shared by the users and can be freely distributed. You can freely distribute your public key to everyone, okay, without any concern. And it is also used for the encryption and verify the digital signatures. So possessing someone's public key doesn't compromise security. Now, private keys are is the
What is
thing
a
you have to.
digital signature?
Digital signatures are like, let's say you are sending the mail. Okay, let's say you are sending me the mail. So now there you are signing there. Even you can sign digitally, or you can put like your public key sign there so that I can confirm that the message is really coming from you only. Okay, so here we are confirming that we are ensuring the non-reputation. Non-reputation is that the sender really sends the message and the receiver really receives the message. Let's say if the sender sends the message, so later on we are the sender, later on he or she will not deny that I have not sent the message. So non-repudiation is like we are ensuring that the sender really sends the message. So for this, we have to put this in practice, which is digital signatures, where we have to sign the, either you can sign digitally, you can keep your put your encryption keys there for so that the receiver ensure that the sender really sends the message. Okay, so how we can do this? Also, we can put the certification there. Okay, so that we will discuss in this session only. Okay, like in a while. Okay, then we have private key. So private key is the key which we have to kept secret. Okay, and never shared with any other user. So it is used for decryption and generating digital signatures. The private key is vital to maintaining the security of the communication. So this is like obvious. We have to secure the private key, and we have to we can openly distribute the that public. Then we have secure communication. So encryption, when a sender wants to communicate with the that we have already discussed. Okay, like how we can encrypt or decrypt. Okay, let me show you a figure for that. Let's say there's a sender and there's a receiver. So if the sender wants to send message to receiver, so the sender encrypt the message with the receiver's public key. Okay, which is receiver's public key, and then send it. At receiver side, when the receiver received the message, so the receiver decrypt the same message with its own private key. Okay, so here we are ensuring the foolproof security, because in that we don't need to transfer any key, because public key can be visible to anyone. We don't have any threat against public key, but yeah, we have threat against the private key. And now private key is secure. We have the private key with ourselves only, and we are not transferring the private key with anyone. So in that case, we are providing the foolproof security. Okay, so that is all about how we can encrypt and decrypt. Then we have security and trust. So asymmetric cryptography offers a level of security that allows users to communicate securely without needing to exchange secret keys beforehand. The security relies on the fact that even if the someone intercepts the public key, they cannot decrypt message, because we need private key for decrypting the message. So that is why we are ensuring the foolproof security in the asymmetric cryptography. Then we computational complexity. So now there's a thing with the drawback with the asymmetric is that asymmetric is a very slow process as compared to symmetric. Okay. Now, and also you need a high computational power for applying this asymmetric. Okay. But there's a plus point with the asymmetric is that we are ensuring the foolproof security, and also you can use asymmetric in the digital signatures. So there's a point you cannot use that symmetric encryption in the digital signatures. You can use that asymmetric encryption in the digital signatures. So that is a very important point for the examination point of view. Like you can apply the digital signatures with the asymmetric encryption or asymmetric cryptography, but we cannot apply the digital signatures with symmetric algorithm or encryption or crypto system like cryptography. Okay, because in the cryptograph in the symmetric we are using the same key, right? We are using everyone is using the same key. So if you have five users which are all using the same key, and let's say user A send you the message, now how would you confirm that the user A only sends the message? Because all other five users are all other four users have the same key. So so within those four users, any one of the users may send the message. So you cannot confirm that user A really sends the message, or it is user A only that sends the message. So that is why in the symmetric key we cannot ensure the non-repudiation. Now, what are the benefits of a public key cryptography? So first, the benefit is that security. Second, the benefit is we can achieve the digital signatures. So key exchange. So public key cryptography simplifies key exchange. So we don't need to first exchange the real key, which is the key which we are using for the decryption. Okay. And second thing is, it is like key exchange is we are just exchanging the public key, which is obvious, and we don't have any threat against public key. Signatures, we can achieve the digital signatures with the help of that public key or asymmetric key. Okay, which provide a proof of authenticity and non-repudiation of for your documents. Then we have secure channels. So while encrypting symmetric keys with a recipient public key, asymmetric cryptography can establish a secure channel for subsequent symmetric encryption, combining the strength of both systems. So that is like we are whatever we are like transmitting via asymmetric key that we are doing via secure channel. So in summary, asymmetric cryptography is a cornerstone of modern security protocols, enabling secure communication, digital signatures, and various security services. While more computationally intensive, it addresses some of the challenges faced by the symmetric cryptography, such as key distribution and secure communication between parties who haven't established a prior relationship. Okay, that is the difference in symmetric and asymmetric. You can also see the difference here as well. Um, this one, asymmetric and symmetric encryption. Okay, is it clear this much?
Yeah, clear, ma'am.
Okay. So we have RSA. So RSA is like it is a what we can say algorithm which is an asymmetry algorithm. So it is developed by Ronald Rivest and Adi Shamir and Leonard Edelman in 1977. Is named after its creators. Okay, which is R, S, and A, which is like the surnames of everyone, the last name of these three users. Okay, sorry, the developers. So it is named after its creators. So it has become a widely used and recognized method for secure communication. So what is this RSA is all about? So it is like it factor the large prime numbers. So the foundation of RSA algorithm relies on the mathematical difficulty for factoring large numbers into their prime components. This computational challenge forms the basis of its security. So let's say we have a large prime number. So we are applying the factorial of those large prime numbers. Okay. Then we have key pair generation. So each user in the RSA crypto system generates a key pair of key, a public key and a private key. The public key can be openly shared and the private key remains secret. Okay, that is because this is a asymmetric algorithm. Security basis, the security of RSA stems from the mathematical relationship between the public and private key. While the private public key can be used for encryption and verification, and only the corresponding private key can decrypt cipher text and generate digital signatures. So that is the security basis of the RSA. So using secure communication, so we can use in the secure communication, and we can also use in digital signatures, etc. in various applications, in emails, in banking transactions, etc. Then we have factorial complexity. One second. Okay, so that is factorial complexity, which is the core complexity of RSA lies in the difficulty of factoring the large numbers into their prime factors. Okay, so that is like you can just read this line. So and the mathematical formulas are not the part of the exam. Okay, like how a basic algorithm works, what is the mathematical formulas, how we can factorize, that is not the part of the CompTIA. Then we have domain and RSA security. So initially patent and developed in the by RSA security, the RSA algorithms is now in the public domain. So it has been widely adopted and implemented for the security communication purpose. So that is RSA. Then we have this one, elliptic curve cryptography, ECC. So it is another algorithm and it's like quite popular algorithm. wait a minute. So in the elliptic curve cryptography, it is a modern approach to cryptography that utilize the mathematical properties of elliptic curves for secure communication and digital signatures. So what is origin and creators? So they are the origin and creators. So you can go through these. Okay, just remember the name. Name are very important, and the year. Okay, and this is the equation which the elliptic curve uses for encrypting the data, which is y power of 2 equal x power of 2 plus ax plus b, which is x, y, a are, and b are the real numbers. This equation defines the curve's shape and properties. So basically, x, y, a, and b are the real numbers. Real numbers are the numbers which contains everything. Okay, those are real numbers like 0, 1, 2, 3, like this. Okay, so they are real numbers. So this is the formula of the elliptic curve cryptography. Then we have groups and operations. So each elliptic curve has an associated elliptic curve group composed of points on the curve, including a point at infinity denoted at O. Points within the same group can be added using an elliptic curve addition algorithm. So basically, like it is a like we have multiple elliptic curves, which is like composed of a points on the curve where the curve is occurring. There, those points we are marking, and we have the group of those points of the curves. Okay, where the curve is like occurring. And then there we are putting a point of infinity, which is denoted as O. So points within the same group can be added using an elliptic curve adding algorithm. Okay. Then we have curve discrete logarithm problem. So it is also the mathematical equation, which is like finding the integer x where q equal xp. Okay, we are given to and p and q are the points on the curve. Okay, on the same elliptic curve. So for example, let's say we have this curve here. Yeah. So let's say we are in a graph, we have this curve here. Okay, so this is the point. So P and Q are the points. Okay, on the same elliptic curve, which here we have to find the integer, which is believed to be computationally complex. Like we cannot manually compute the that curve. So security strength, ECC is believed to be to offer a high level of security for a given key compared to traditional cryptographic methods like RSA. So this makes ECC particularly attractive for resources constrained environments. So that is like here we have a high security for a given key compared to traditional RSA, which means we have the long key length in ECC as compared to RSA. Then we have protection applications where we can use ECC, we can use in the secure communications, we can use in the digital signatures and cryptographic key exchanging protocols. Okay. So you can just understand the core principles of the curve of this elliptic curve principle, like cryptography for the examination. So mathematical point or mathematical concepts are not important. Mathematical concepts are important where you are creating the algorithm by yourself. Okay, like if you are an algorithm developer, or if you want to implement an algorithm, or if you want to introduce a new algorithm, or if you want to check the efficiency or the working of the algorithm, then if you want to find the vulnerabilities in the algorithm, then you should know the mathematical approach or the mathematical side of the algorithm. Okay, then we have importance of key length. So the length of the cryptographic key is a So the length of the cryptographic key is a critical factor in determining the security of an encryption system. Security administrator needs to be Security administrator needs to select an appropriate key length based on their understanding of the encryption algorithm capabilities. So as you know, longer the length, stronger your key will be. And stronger the key, so it will take more time for any attacker to apply the brute force on that key. Okay, let's say if you have the key length of 1 to 8 bits, 1 to 8 bits of length. So which means 2 power 1 to 8 bits, which means 2 into 2 into 2 into and up to 1 to 8 times. Okay, so that is the key length is all about key space, which is like in each and every position, like we have 1 to 8 positions because we have the size of 1 to 8 bits. So in each and every position, we have the possibilities of 0 and 1. Like it can be 0 also, it can be 1 also. That is why we have this formula 2 power 1 to 8 because of the possibilities of any one of these 0 or 1. So it can be 0 can also come or be 1 can also come. So we don't know. That is why we have this formula 2 power 1 to 8 bits. Okay, this is the size of your key length, or we can say key space. Okay, so the value of the data being protected and the understanding, yeah. So that is like if your key is longer, then we are protecting or we are the we like if the key length is longer, then the stronger the key. So balancing, securing, processing time. So selecting the right key length involves a trade-off between the difficulty of breaking the encryption measured by the time required to defeat it and the sensitivity of the data. More critical data generally requires stronger keys. So balancing the keys are like, see, it depends on what kind of scenario you are applying the keys, right? If you have the scenario where you need a higher length key or higher security, then you can use the higher length key. Let's say you can use AES or SHA-512 algorithm. But make sure if you have the requirement of like using the higher key, the like high key length. So for that you need a high computational power. Okay, so before using any key, you have to ensure that you have a right computational power for applying the right kind of key length. Okay, so it is like between the difficulty of breaking the encryption measured by the time required to defeat it and sensitivity of the data. More critical data really requires stronger key. So it depends on your data. Okay, like if your data is not that much important, so you can just like apply a basic level, encryption key. And if your data is important, it's like quite important, then you can put high level keys. So it totally depends on your data and your computational power. Impact of computing power growth. So the rapid growth of computing power as described by the Moore's law means that time required to break encryption will decrease over time. Okay, which is like time will rapidly decrease when there's a high in the computational power. Okay, so that we have to check. So that is why we have keep on we have multiple algorithm and we are keep on updating the current algorithm because of these high computation powers, because of the quantum computers, because of many high power computer. We have the high computational powers to break the keys to apply the brute force. So that is why it is important to select your key wisely. Then with cloud computing and attacks. So attackers can leverage cloud computing resources, including powerful GPUs, to more efficiently attack encrypted data. Cloud computing provides scalable and cost-effective computing power, making attacks more feasible for a wide range of adversaries. Okay, that is like cloud computing attacks. Then your key length strengths vary by crypto system. So, different encryption algorithm have varying strength for different key length. For example, a 102-bit RSA key might provide similar security to 160-bit ECC key. So you can notice the difference. The key length is different. So the size of RSA key is larger than the size of the ECC, but they are basically providing the same security level. Okay, because of the strength, depends on the algorithm underlying mathematical properties. Because of what kind of mathematical formulas, what kind of mathematical properties they are using for encrypting. which means the method or the technique they are using. Okay. So also let's say if we have MD5 algorithm. So now the power of MD5 is equal to SHA second algorithm. Okay. So they are equal. SHA second and MD5. So now think of SHA 512, SHA 128 algorithm. They are much more powerful than MD5 algorithm. Okay. Then we have resource versus security constraint. Using longer key increases security but also adds computation overhead. So the trade-off between the security and resources constraints must be considered when choosing the key length. That is, whatever the key you are using, make sure you have a perfect computation powers. So is it clear this much?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so
I got straight.
let's continue with this last part of digital signatures tomorrow. Okay,
Yeah, okay, okay.
so can you connect tomorrow as well as we have to complete the syllabus on time? So can you connect at
Yeah,
same
at
time
what
like
time,
9
ma'am? Mm,
9 to 10 the same time if you are
9
available
to 10.
like
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
okay
okay. 1 hour only, right, ma'am? Tomorrow,
yeah 1 hour
second.
that's
Mm,
fine. Okay,
okay, okay.
so is there anything
Okay,
you
ma'am.
want to
Thank you.
ask?
No, ma'am. I'll text you if anything I have. Mm,
Okay, and please
okay.
kindly watch the recorded sessions and if there's any doubt you can ping me anytime. Okay.
Yeah, okay, okay.